New York, we here. Yeah. It's all my brothers that struggle in this walk as the Israelites. Shout out to the Israelites, yeah. My sisters too. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Yo, my brother said he never been a weak Jew. Well, I'm weak if you see me from God's view. I struggle falling short, falling off the horse, being an Israelite to death until death puts an end to my course. In this truth for over a decade, converting blacks in essays, low cut Caesar afros, or when I had braids, discerning spirits with my spiritual X-ray, betrayed by brothers and sisters, but I still pray for new days. People question Leon, why you not a captain? Why you not traveling? Why you falling back in the action? What happened to your passion? Cause I've been bullshitting with myself, not loving myself. Not seeking spiritual help, but I'ma pull through and climb Jacob's ladder one day and remove these carnal flaws and increase the times that I pray for. I'm God's son, the son of the supreme, with dreams that royalty is restored to the black kings and queens, princes and princesses, no longer niggas and bitches and trees, removing off this mental collar and leash, while the Israelites holler for the truth on the streets and kill off the red devil, dragon, serpent and beast. No peace can never come unless your soul is one with Abba. Follow God, I follow the stone, but not the Kaaba. I follow Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, my mighty ox, when 44,000 soldiers deep on your block, purple and gold, reciting the stories the father has told. Either hot and cold, lukewarm niggas will fold. Power hungry Absalom brothers God will expose, while the stone will destroy, defeating the toes. To all my brothers and sisters who sin in this truth but still standing. Winter is coming until we wait the king's landing. So that's why I carry my sword and not a handgun. I'm waiting for these mansions. Goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. We gonna make it to the end, brothers and sisters. We gonna make it, yeah. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. The revolution will not be televised, but in the meantime, I'm enduring the hardships reflected in my past life when I came off the hardships. From Deuteronomy 28 verse 68, no man shall save us like Dr. King in 68. Or when the watch riots inspired Planet of the Apes, or watching 90s Israelite classics from the old tapes. Kendrick Lamar said we gonna be alright, but he disappeared when he said he's an Israelite. This walk is not for the feeble, just as Brother Nick Cannon. Can skip the basics, you have to be sharp like Brother Shannon. The truth is undisputed, highly therapeutic. Brothers can amp you up, sisters can feel acoustic. Furthermore, gotta keep the circle tighter than glue sticks. Can't feature with certain people for all they know is music. Surrounding myself with genuine spirits. He who have ears to hear, let him hear it. Goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Trials and tribulation, trials and tribulation. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. We all got problems, we all got struggles. We gon' be alright though. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. We gotta fight to the end, brothers and sisters. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Pray for one another. Pray for the downfall of your enemies. Yeah. Divine. IUIC.
You rolling with. Either you rolling with the spirit of Satan and who's waiting for the lake of fire, or you're gonna roll with the spirit of Christ.
Created, manufactured right here in the Americas. Don't slip on that. This new Negro that we see today was a creation.
If you walking around worrying about your breath when you know death and destruction is everywhere, nigga, you gonna die.
face. Fix your face. We ain't going nowhere. Fix your face. We ain't going nowhere. Face. Fix your face.
Christ bless. What's up, y'all? We done officially blew the speaker in here.
Yeah, the speaker's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone in here.
Hey, man, I want to thank IT, man, for turning up, man, and you know what I'm saying? Hey, all praise be to the Most High. Hey, family, appreciate y'all. Pray everybody had a blessed day of atonement yesterday. You made it through it. You didn't die. Giving glory and honor and praises to the Most High God and His Son. You did it. We keep the commandments,
That's
y'all.
right.
Y'all, what's happening, bro?
Chilling, man.
We
chilling.
good, bro?
I don't like how this mic sound at all.
You don't like how the
sorry.
mic?
I'm sorry. I know you passed the point, but
But you know what you're saying, though, right?
right. Yes. Yes.
All right, so it's still you. You just kind of hearing you in a different way right now.
Right.
Because they blew
Right.
the speaker. Oklahoma. Hey, all praises be to the Most High. Tonight we got Officer Uriel in the building. Y'all already know we got AZ3 riding with me.
That's right.
Yawasab, he ain't going nowhere. And my reader tonight, Officer Lemuel. What's up, bro? You ready?
Yes, sir.
Hey, let's get 1 John's the second chapter real quick. 1 John chapter 2. No, I'm playing with you.
Hey, man, come on. Hey, already, huh?
Already? Bro, you have folks crack. They still laughing at you right now, bro.
Hey, listen, I said it's strong and wrong.
You said
can't
it's
tell me
strong,
nothing.
though. That dude said, it's like a jungle sometime. It made me wonder how they keep it. Hey,
I got it now.
You got it now? All praises, bro. How you say it? How you say it?
Huh? Y'all know how to pronounce it.
Listen, Bishop sent me the actual enunciation of the word. Like, he sent the sound. He says, give this to him. He said, Dickie, you didn't even say it right. I said, damn. Fix my face. All right, real quick, let's get started in Baruch. Though this first scripture isn't necessarily on the topic, it is on the topic, and it's going to kind of come full circle later on tonight. But I did want to read this because I was meditating on this. Baruch 3 and 4, please.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 4.
Read.
O Lord Almighty, thou God of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites.
Of who?
The dead Israelites.
The dead Israelites. We, family, we are the dead Israelites. We lost our heritage. We lost all that belongs to us. We are in our enemy's land. Hear the prayer of the dead Israelites, read.
And of their children.
This goes back to, what is that, Revelations 11 and 8? Where it talks about, get that real quick. Just precept it real quick for
Their
me.
dead body.
Right now, we are in a decayed state. Our people are checked out to who they are, checked out to what God's plan is, and don't truly understand Christ. You got that?
The book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 8.
Read.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom in Egypt.
We are right now in the land of our captivity, the dead Israelites. Go back to Baruch, the third chapter. Read verse 4 again.
Baruch, chapter 3, verse 4.
Read.
O Lord Almighty, thou God of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites and of their children, which have sinned before thee.
Read.
And not hearkened unto the voice of thee,
And
their
have
God.
not listened to the voice of the Most High. Read on.
Their God. For the which cause these plagues cleave unto us.
This is why these plagues have cleaved unto us. This is why we catching the hell that we catching. Read.
Remember not the iniquities of our forefathers.
This is all Deuteronomy 28th chapter. All these sicknesses, these plagues, all of these things that God said would happen to us if for disobedience, it's happening. Come on.
But think upon thy power and thy name now at this time.
Come on.
For thou art the Lord, our God, and thee, O Lord, we will praise.
Read.
And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity.
And praise thee in our captivity, just like it was prophesied. King Solomon prophesied about us in the land of our enemies, bethinking ourselves, remembering who we are, coming back to the Most High God sincerely and praying towards our land. Come on.
For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before thee.
Read.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
Ain't this ironic? This is us right now. Right. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. Come on.
Where thou hast scattered us.
Read.
For a reproach.
Whether it be in Haiti, whether it be in Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, wherever we may be, we are yet this day in our captivity where God has scattered us. The 12 tribes have been scattered across the earth. Come on.
For a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
Subject to what?
To payments.
To what?
To payments.
Man, I feel this thing right now.
Man.
Let me tell you something, bro. Subject to payments. We up in here getting taxed.
Right.
It ain't easy, y'all. It ain't easy. Man. This ain't our land. Here it is. We paying all this. We subject to all these things to make their country greater and stronger. Come on.
According to all the iniquities of our fathers,
Read.
which departed from the Lord our God.
Read.
Hear, Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understanding wisdom.
Read.
How happeneth, Israel?
So it says, hear, Israel, the commandments of life, and it says, give ear to understand wisdom. Like we always say, y'all know me. I'm going to say it 100 times a week. To understand this Bible, to understand what God says, you got to do what God said to do. Keep his commandments. Right. So to understand the prophecies, to understand the mysteries, all the deep stuff all y'all are interested in order to understand it, you got to be keeping the commandments. We're going to touch on a little bit tonight. Some of this, for some of y'all, it's going to do like this. And that's okay. That's all right. You may not be able to grasp some things, but apply. And as you apply, the Most High is going to show more things to you, right? It says, Hear, Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom. Verse 10.
Verse 10. How happeneth it?
How did it happen, Israel? Read.
Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land.
That we are in our enemy's land. We ain't, like I said, look at our history. We ain't from here. This is not our land. Come on.
That thou art waxing old in a strange country.
We have waxing old in a strange country. Some people done got accustomed to this place, and they think this is theirs. This land is your land. You know the song, This Land Is My Land. Come on, y'all, stop.
I don't know the song.
Yo, act like you don't know. From California to the...
That's Uriel.
That's Uriel.
They wasn't teaching that in my school, bro.
This land was made for you and me.
Oh, boy.
They was teaching duck.
You was in school. Exactly. Duck. Look here, little Uriel. Yeah. This color is red. This is blue.
Hey, we was doing under the desk drills when you hear shots get under the desk.
That's what I'm talking about.
Whatever the case is, Negroes are stuck on stupid thinking this land belongs to them. They got you saluting the flag, doing everything like this land is yours when it don't belong to you. Okay? How did it happen, Israel? That we've waxing old in a strange country. Well, we're going to kind of deal with some of that today, all right? So let's get to the topic. Today's topic tonight is that which is done. Now, I want to pull some videos, but before we do that, I'm going to briefly try to go through Ecclesiastes, the first chapter. For those of you all who have been around, you already know this. This is nothing new. But for those of you brothers and sisters that are fairly new, or whatever the case may be, you may not have been through this yet. So we're going to touch on it. I'm sure some of y'all may have questions. So make sure you go and ask your respective camp leaders in your areas wherein you may be. Or you can shoot me an email if you got questions. I'll try my best. I'll try my best to get there. All right, give me that. Ecclesiastes chapter 1. We're going to read verse 1. Again, we're doing this as a preface because we got some stuff we want to go into. So for these things to make sense, and I don't just want to say, yeah, y'all know what's going on, and y'all don't know what's going on, all right? All right, Ecclesiastes 1:1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 1.
Read. You notice there's not very many videos on this either?
No.
It's only IUIC.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say only. Maybe there's something out there I don't know about. But if you search, I haven't seen it like that. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 1.
Come on.
The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem.
This was who writing? This was King Solomon writing. Come on.
Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity.
Here it is, Solomon, and all the wisdom that the Most High has given him. He's summing everything up. He said, vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity. Come on.
What profit hath a man of all his labor, which he taketh under the sun?
What does a man profit from all his labor that he takes under the sun? Come on.
One generation passeth away.
One generation of man passes away. Come on.
And another generation cometh.
And another generation comes. Read.
But the earth abideth forever.
Everybody's coming and going, living and dying, being born on the earth. The earth abides forever. Come on.
The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down.
The sun rises and goes down. Read.
And hasteth to his place where he arose.
Now this may go against some of y'all's scientific religion. What you're gonna have to do is you just gonna have to swallow that pride and understand Esau don't know everything. The so-called white man don't know everything. Guess what? We don't know everything. The Lord gonna show us more whenever he come back. Okay?
Right.
But the scripture said what?
The sun also ariseth.
The sun ariseth.
And the sun goeth down.
The sun goes down.
And hasteth to his place where he arose.
It goes back to where he rose from. Come on.
Verse 6.
Read.
The wind goeth toward the south, and turneth about unto the north.
Come on.
It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits.
The wind returns again according to his circuits. This is letting you know about the process in which the winds operate around the earth. Come on.
And the rivers run into the sea.
The rivers run into the sea. Read.
Yet the sea is not full.
Just like here's an example I always give. The Mississippi is constantly running into what? Gulf of Mexico. But the Gulf ain't filled up yet, right? It says the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full.
Unto the place from whence rivers come. Thither they return again.
From unto the place where read that again, where the rivers come, thither they return again, right? Read, verse 8.
Verse 8. All things are full of
I
labor.
hope y'all taking notes. It says all things are full of labor. What kind of labor is this talking about? All things are full of labor. That type of labor is talking about this cycle. Here it is, we read an example. The sun is cycling. It says the winds are cycling. Generations of man are cycling. What was the other one? The rivers?
Yes, sir.
The rivers are cycling. Everything is on a cycle. All things are full of this type of labor. And it just named a few things. We can name some more things. The seasons. Mm-hmm. Here it is, goes what? Spring, summer, fall, winter. Spring, summer, fall, winter. It's a cycle. Read on.
Verse 8. All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it.
Man sees all this stuff going on. Man can't utter it. It's like he don't put the pieces of the puzzle together. Read.
The eye is not satisfied with seeing.
We see all these things, all of these cycles, right? And we never put them to ourselves, to our spirits. Read.
Nor the ear filled with hearing.
Nor the ear filled with hearing. Come on.
The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be done.
The thing
which
that
shall
been,
be.
The thing that have been, it is that which shall be. Read.
And that which is done is that which shall be done.
Come on.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
The thing that have been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. First thing, a person with some sense is going to ask, what is a thing talking about? It says the thing that hath been is that which shall be. Well, we're going to come back to that. Give me verse 10.
Verse 10.
Read.
Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new.
Uh-huh.
It hath been already of old time, which was before us.
It hath been already of old time. Is there anything, King Solomon says, is there anything you could say, look, this is new. It's new right here. It said it have been already of old time, which was before us. Come on.
There is no remembrance of former things. There is no remembrance of former things.
There's no remembrance of former things.
Neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after.
Neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. So, going back to verse 9, it says, read that.
The thing that hath been.
Remember, a reasonable person is going to ask, well, what is a thing talking about? If I say, give me that thing right there, you're like, well, what is that? Give me Ecclesiastes, the 6th chapter. Ecclesiastes 6 and verse 10, please.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6.
Hope y'all taking notes.
Verse 10.
Come on.
That which hath been is named already.
Wait, great. King Solomon decided he's going to give us the answer. That which hath been is named already. Come on.
And it is known that it is man.
It is what?
It is man.
It is what?
It is man.
And it is known that it is man. So let's go. Matter of fact, finish that verse though.
Neither may he contend with him that is mightier than he.
Who's mightier than man? The Most High God. So let's go back. The thing that have been. Okay, now I understand. The thing is man. So let's read that verse 9 again.
Verse 9. The thing that hath been.
The man that hath been.
It is that which shall be.
It is the man which shall be. Come on.
And that which is done is that which shall be done.
And that which is done. What that man does, what did in his last life, is that what he's going to do in his next life. He is who he is. It says, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. Read.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
Nothing new is happening under the sun. Everything is a cycle. You got the same spirits. That's why you read up above where it says, one generation passeth away and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. You have the same spirits in rotation. The Most High sitting back when he sees fit. We see all these things, all these cycles of life, and we never put it to ourselves.
Right.
It says, verse 10 again? No, verse 11.
Verse 11. There is no remembrance of the former things.
You don't remember who you were. You don't remember, man, I was such and such. Because a Negro gets simple right here. Man, I got the spirit of King David. I got the spirit of Ezra on me. Y'all didn't know I was Abraham, brother? Huh? There's no remembrance of former things, read.
Neither shall there be any remembrance of the things that are to come with those that shall come after.
Hey, now look. Whenever I pass away, y'all leave my Cadillac in the garage, okay? I'm going to be back in the fourth generation under my great-great-grandson, okay? Make sure you name me Abiel again. And don't touch my lack. By that time, it's going to be a classic.
Hey, Dick, I'm glad you're going over this because, Jehovah's Witnesses teach that with this scripture right here, that you can see your dead loved ones again, and they'll know exactly who they are. Because my grandmother them used to tell me, don't you want to see your mama again? She going to be back. She going to be back. She ain't kept damn commandment.
Right. Neither do they understand this Bible.
Right.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So anyways, verse 10, it says, is there anything wherever it may be said, see, this is new, like your baby. I know y'all think this baby is new. Man, look here, man, this is my son, my first baby. He done been here before. And we pray. That's why we pray for righteous children. We pray for righteous children who's going to serve the Lord, okay? But at the end of the day, he's been here. That spirit belongs to the Lord. You just the vessel that the Most High used to bring the spirit back on the earth. Right. Now, of course, you got to follow the law. Honor thy father and mother. Somebody gets stupid and say, look here, I came through you, I ain't necessarily, God is my father. No, honor thy father and mother. That's what the Bible says. Right. But anyways,
Christ did it.
Absolutely. So anyways, as we read here, it's like, dang, Solomon done open up a whole nother level of understanding when you realize that just like the wind, the rivers, the sun, everything is on a cycle. Generations of man are on a cycle, and these spirits are being sent back to the earth. Now, what's dope is he gonna ask you, did you get it? Did you understand what the thing was? Give me that. Ecclesiastes 8. Here's wisdom. Ecclesiastes, the 8th chapter. Azariah, give me that in what is this? Psalms 78. You give me Ecclesiastes 8 and 1. Read this real quick.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 1.
Pay attention.
Who is as the wise man? And who knoweth the interpretation of a thing?
Wait a minute. He said, who is as the wise man? And who knows the interpretation of a thing? He's asking, did you get it? What's the interpretation of a thing? We read it in Ecclesiastes 6 and 10. The interpretation of a thing is man. Watch this. Read on.
A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine.
And when you understand this, when you understand regeneration, it makes your face to shine because now you're supposed to walk in a new light. You're not supposed to walk like just some regular person. I was talking about this last night, Azariah. That's why I'm going over it now. You ain't supposed to walk like some regular person, like, oh, I'm just some Joe Schmo. You need to walk like, damn it, you might be King David. You might be Isaiah. You might be Jeremiah or one of the other prophets. Right. You might be them. Right. Let me move like they moved. Even though you don't know who you may be, let me move with some pride. Let me move with some self-esteem. Let me hold my head up high and not walk around head down low, woe is me. Nah, right. God's using me. This is what this understanding is supposed to do to you. A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine. It says in what?
And the boldness of his face shall be changed.
And the boldness of his face shall be changed. That's why I make sure how I deal with my brothers, how I deal with you all. Because I don't know who you are. Like I said, look here, remember what who was it? David said, I just want to be what did he say? A doorkeeper. I just want to watch the door. Because you don't know who you're dealing with. This right here, man, I'm telling you, it's heavy. And it's supposed to make you move different, act different, talk different, and treat one another differently, okay? Now, give me that real quick, because somebody, right now, they head them blew up. Mind bomb. We got some more scriptures for you. Give me Psalm 78:1. You won't get it, though, if you don't do this. Read.
Psalms chapter 78, verse 1. Give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth.
Read.
I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old.
Now, watch this. A Negro, all he got was that next verse where it said, I'm going to utter my mouth in a parable. I'm going to utter dark sayings of old. Ooh, the deep stuff. But first he told you to do what?
Give ear, O my people, to my law.
To the laws of the Most High God. That's the only way you're going to gain understanding. That's the only way you're going to figure it out. Is if you do what God said to do. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. If you're not keeping the commandments, this information is going to fly over your head. And then when you get to certain verses that's speaking and referencing regeneration, you lost. Let me give you an example. Give me John. John, the 9th chapter. Let's read verse 1. Again, for those of you all that's already been through this, be patient, bear with me. We're trying to catch everybody else up.
The book of John, chapter 9, verse 1.
Read.
And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth.
From when?
From his birth.
Let's establish this. Is everybody listening? This man was born blind, okay? Born blind. Read.
At verse 2, and his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin? This man?
Who?
Or this man?
Who did sin? The disciples asked Christ, who committed sin? Who broke God's laws? This man, this blind man, or
his parents?
Wait a minute. Our forefathers, especially our leaders, the apostles, they weren't idiots. Why would they, if there was no understanding concerning regeneration, how could this man who was born blind do something to cause himself to be born blind? How is that possible? Give me Exodus 20. Exodus, the 20th chapter. You know what I want? I didn't write this one down. Yeah. Yeah, read that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 5.
We got to listen. Y'all in a whole, y'all done leveled up, y'all. Y'all are in a whole nother level of understanding. This stuff that you thought you understood back in the day, let it all go. Now what you got to do is dive in the Bible and start asking these pertinent questions. And when you see these things, humble yourself and learn. You got it?
Exodus chapter 20, verse 5.
Come on.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord, thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
The Lord said he will visit the iniquity of the fathers unto the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Why? Because that's typically when the generation that you're going to come back in. It's not going to be your son or, even after him. Third and fourth generation. So guess what? That means you could be punished for something that you did in your last life. A lot of times we wonder why, and we see people who may be born, that may be, maimed, people that are born with handicap, disabilities, things of that nature. We like, oh no, when you don't understand, we don't know what he did. We don't know what happened. But he's here, he got another chance to get it right. That don't mean we just write them off, because guess what? That which is done is that which shall be done. So you got people who mess up, who gonna accept Christ and get it right. Like we was explaining during the Day of Atonement class. That's that trump card. Bam! Christ is gonna be able to, now for that person to make it, he can repent through Christ.
Right.
But that person that ain't gonna do what God said, listen, he says he judges for the third and fourth generations. Now, common sense is gonna say, well, that means the apostles understood that you could be punished for something you did in your last life, or punished for something that your parents did. Yes, that happens. A lot of times the affliction, like with King David, the affliction can come through your child being inflicted on you. The Most High is the one who does these things. It's not for us to try to wrap our mind around it. Oh, that's not fair. You don't know what fair is. You better get in your Bible and learn fair. Most High said, my thoughts are not your thoughts. Neither are my ways your ways.
Right.
So fix your whole face and do what God said. I want to make sure I'm good. I want to make sure I'm doing right. Then I want to make sure all my people doing right.
Right.
You better focus. All right, another example. Give
D,
me. Yeah.
Not only did the apostles understand regeneration, Christ was letting them know. Yeah, can we read verse 3?
Yeah,
I wanted to read on.
Verse 3, Jesus answered, neither hath this man sinned.
Here go to pastor right now. Well, there's a perfectly good explanation for this. He gets down. There's a perfectly good explanation for this. Jesus.
Christ is letting them know regeneration is in the Bible. Pastor sweat right now. All the pig juice is coming out right now. Christ is letting them know neither this man sinned or his parents that he was born blind. So Christ is letting you know regeneration is in the Bible.
Read that again.
Verse 3, Jesus answered, neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him.
Yes. Now watch this. Just like, remember how I told Pharaoh, Pharaoh's whole purpose in life, the reason why he was born was so that the Lord could use him, could throw him down in front of the whole earth. And we still talking about that Pharaoh to this day. For this purpose, he said he raised him up. So guess what? The Most High God can use you. I want to be used for righteousness. I don't want to be used for evil. I want to be used for righteousness. That's why we always pray to be used as tools of righteousness in this thing. Because if you're not, who's using you?
Right.
Who's really using you?
Hey, Esau be saying, it wasn't me. I didn't put you on them ships. They are their forefathers. It's like when it says Isaiah 14 and 20, 21.
Yep, go back. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, no, I was going to get you to give me Matthew 16. Let's get another example. We'll go past the pork chop. This is just perfectly good reasons for this. You know, it's just, you really got to understand Jesus, see. Jesus is the Lord.
Because think about it. If the apostles were saying something contrary to the Bible, Christ would have corrected them.
He would have smashed them. What the hell are you talking about?
Right.
Then he told me, get these hits, Satan.
Right. Yeah, he told Peter.
You.
The pastor started talking about TV, the ceiling, the talking about all kinds of
the
things.
Jesus and the regular Jesus. See, it's a perfectly good explanation for that.
It's a perfectly good one. You need a Jesus. That's what you needed. Talking about eisegesis, exit. You need Jesus. Need a Jesus.
Right.
All right, read that. Matthew's 16:13.
Matthew chapter 16, verse 13.
Read.
When Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said.
So this is a plain question. Who are the people saying that I, the Son of Man, Christ, am? Right? Read on. And also notice he commonly referred to himself as Son of Man, but we'll get that's later on down the line. Go ahead.
Verse 14.
Read.
And they said, some say that thou art John the Baptist.
Okay, which would make sense because Christ was making noise at this point. As you see, he's going around, he's teaching, miracles is happening. Now he's developing a following. John had a large following, so someone, common sense is going to tell you, yeah, well, I don't know what John, he ain't had a Facebook page or nothing.
Social media wasn't a thing.
It wasn't none of that. So you see a man out here teaching, large following, you may assume, oh, that must be that man from the wilderness. That must be John the Baptist. Yeah, I heard he be out here teaching. He got a large following. It might be, they may assume that. Read.
Some Elias.
Some say what?
Elias.
Okay, well, this is one a little different. Because Elijah was gone already. So maybe they'll say, you know what, no, that he's going to be able, Most High is going to make him appear back. You know, they might say he ain't going to be born as a man again. He'll just appear, you know, and that might be him. Okay, let's roll with that for a second. Watch this.
And others, Jeremiah.
Now, wait a minute now. Jeremiah been gone.
Right.
Been gone. So was our ancestors crazy? They were saying that this person, so are they saying he's that old? That Jeremiah never died? That Elijah never died? No, they knew he passed. They knew these men were gone. They understood regeneration. They understood that the Lord will send your spirit back on earth. These are simple examples. Watch this. Give me John, the 1st chapter. Here's another one. Start at 19, please.
John, chapter...
Right now, somebody done burst the brain vessel. It's all right. It's okay.
John, chapter 1, verse 19.
Come on.
And this is the record of John, when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, who art thou? And he confessed and denied not.
He confessed and he did not lie. Come on.
But confessed, I am not the Christ. And they asked him, what then? Mm-hmm. Art thou Elias? And he said, I am not.
He said what?
I am not.
He said, no, I'm not Elijah. That's what John said, right? Watch this. Go to Matthew 17. I know some of y'all was like, Dick, I thought you can go to Matthew 11 first. I'm just doing a few quick ones so we can get into tonight's stuff, okay? Matthew 17, start at verse 1.
Matthew chapter 17, verse 1.
Read.
And after 6 days, Jesus taketh Peter, James, and John, his brother, and bringeth them up into an high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them. Mm-hmm. And his face did shine as the sun. Okay,
so just to fast forward, jump to verse 10. What you see happen here is the transfiguration. Go back and read it, okay? It's also found in the other accounts. You see the transfiguration. The disciples, who was it? Peter, James, and John that was there? They see Christ speaking with Elijah and Moses, right? They were so happy when they seen him. They said, Lord, let us build 3 tabernacles here. One for you, one for Elijah, one for Moses. Boom. Next thing you know, you hear the voice of the Lord speak. And he said, listen, this is my son in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. They all fell to the ground, scared as hell, just like I would be. On the ground, face down, afraid, right? Then when they looked up, the Elijah and Moses were gone, and Christ was back to his regular body, right? The transfiguration, that's a whole nother level. Anyway, when you read verse 10, watch this. This is after this happened, after this account. Read.
Matthew chapter 17, verse 10.
Read.
And his disciples asked him, saying, Why then say the scribes that Elias must first come?
Think about this, y'all. You just watched Christ transfigure in front of you, right? You just watched him transfigure. Then, boom, Elijah and Moses show up. You like, oh, snap. It's about to go down. We about to kick these white folks all the way the hell up out of here. We whooping up tonight.
Right.
They think it's kingdom time. It's time for the Lord to restore the kingdom. Because on top of that, you heard the voice of the Most High God. They think it's time to go. So, of course, now in their mind, they're flooding through scriptures. Dang, wait a minute. It said in Malachi, what's that, Malachi 4? It said in Malachi that Elijah must first come and restore all things. He's going to turn the heart of the children to the fathers and the heart of the fathers to the children. Why was the scribes teaching us that he had to come before the great and dreadful day? This is a reasonable question, right? Watch this. Watch what Christ says. Read.
Verse 11. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things.
He said, Elijah is going to come and he's going to restore all things. Come on.
But I say unto you that Elias is come already.
But what?
That Elias is come already.
But I'm letting you know he already came. So he said, he's letting them know that Elias is coming back again. But in y'all's time, he already came. Read.
And they knew him not.
Y'all didn't even know that was Elijah. Read.
But have done unto him whatsoever they listed.
But they did whatsoever they listed. They killed him. They had him beheaded. Read.
Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them.
Likewise shall also the Son of Man be what? Crucified, right? Read on.
Then the disciples understood that
Then
he's...
click, because remember, well, we didn't read it tonight, but back in Matthew 11, Christ was giving them hints through the time, showing them, hey, this John the Baptist, he ain't regular. Of them that were born among women, ain't nobody like John, he was telling them, right? He said this, and if ye can receive it, this is Elias or Elijah, which was for to come. Letting you know what? If you able to understand it. Some things, some folks ain't ready. Some of y'all probably ain't ready right now. I ain't looking at the comments. But some of y'all right now, you ain't ready to understand this. You're like, wait, what? Hold on, what? But for those of you all that have ears to hear, he already told them that this was John. Now they just understood it in Matthew's 17th chapter. Read that again.
Verse 13.
Read.
Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist.
Then they understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist. Now, wait a minute. When we went to John, the first chapter, and this is whenever reading is fundamental, those of you all that were keeping up, in 1 John's chapter 1, what was it, verse 24? What did we get down to?
22.
22? No, I'm sorry, John 1.
John 1, 22.
The book of John, chapter 1, verse
21.
21.
Verse 21. And they asked him, what then?
Because they just asked him, listen, are you the Messiah? Because what? He had a large following. Everybody respected John. Listen, John's respect was so daggone heavy. The Pharisees and them questioned whether or not, like, should we openly condemn this man? Like, should we say he was evil? Because if we say he's evil, the people going to turn on us. Because everybody respected John. But dang it, if we validate John, now guess what happens? Now Christ is validated. This is the effect the prophets of the Most High God got on this earth, y'all. It ain't no secret remember the scripture says, thine eyes shall see thy teachers? Right. It ain't no secret who's moving in the spirit of the Lord. That's just a side note. Anyhow, right here, they had just asked him, well, are you the Messiah? He said, no. Then they turned around and asked him, read.
Art thou Elias?
Are you Elijah? Read.
And he saith, I am not.
Wait a minute. This is conflicting now. Because Christ told us that this was Elijah. But John said himself, I am not Elijah. Well, why didn't John know he was Elijah? Go back to Ecclesiastes. Let's get back there to get the meat off the bone.
Just in case you forgot.
Ain't that what the Bishop Yahweh saying?
Get all the meat off the bone.
You got to get all the meat off there, brother.
You got to put all the butter on that biscuit.
You got to double back with the biscuit to get the remnants of the butter in the corner of the plate. Bishop Yahweh, boy, listen, bro. I ain't gonna front, bro. Bishop Yahweh have you in that thing. You be in the spirit and be hungry. You in that thing thinking about biscuits and butter. You got that, bro? Ecclesiastes 1, verse 11.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 11.
Why didn't John know that he was Elijah? Read.
There is no remembrance of former things.
What? Read that again.
There is no remembrance of former things.
You don't remember who you were. But best believe there's no new thing under the sun. You've been here, brother. You've been here, sister, just in a different body. Listen, these bodies return to the dust. Matter of fact, give me that in Ecclesiastes. What is that? I didn't write that one down either. Is it 12? Find that. Yeah, 12 and 7. When you die, your body goes back to the ground. Read.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7.
Come on.
Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was. And the spirit shall return unto God who gave it.
So when you die, your body goes to what? To the ground. Your spirit goes back to the Most High who gave it. And he sends you as he seems fit or deems fit to come back when you come back. Now, one more example, and then I'm gonna try. We're gonna take a break because we got these fire IUIC TV commercials I want to play. But give me real quick another example. 2nd Ezra, chapter 1. 2nd Ezra, chapter 1. And I got to start a little back further, but I must jump up. Just get me down to verse 38.
2nd Ezra, chapter 1, verse 38.
Come on.
And now, brother, behold what glory.
This, what we're reading in 2nd Ezra, this is referring to future prophecy of what's going to be, what's to come. Because he said that The people that we messed up, right? He said he's going to kick us out and he's going to give our houses to another people that's going to serve him. Well, it all is symbolic because the people he's talking about is the generations in the future that's finally going to get it, that's going to repent in Christ and come back. But anyhow, right here, verse 38.
And now, brother, behold what glory, and see the people that cometh from the east.
They're coming from where?
The east.
The people that cometh from the east, read.
Unto whom I will give for leaders
Uh-huh.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Oseas,
So
Amos,
here we have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the three patriarchs, read.
and Michias, Joel, Abadias, and Jonas.
So here it is. We're reading. It says Oseas, which is Hosea, Amos, which is Amos, Michias, Micah, Joel, Abadias, Obadiah, and Jonas, which is Jonah. Go ahead.
Nahum, and Habakkuk,
Habakkuk,
Zephaniah, Aggeus,
which is Haggai. Come on.
Zachary,
Zechariah,
and Malachi.
and Malachi. Right now, watch this. Give me, what is that? Sirach 49. Hold this. We're gonna come back here. See if y'all paying attention. When you understand, you understand. Again, one of these days, I think I'm gonna actually teach a class and go over this again because it's been years since we went over this. Yeah, 49 and 10.
The book of Sirach, chapter 49, verse 10.
Read.
And of the 12 prophets, let the memorial be blessed.
The 12 prophets. Wait a minute. Who are the 12 prophets? It says, and of the 12 prophets, what?
Let the memorial be blessed.
The 12 prophets. Go back to 2nd Esdras. I hope you're holding it. 2nd Esdras. And start at 39 again. 2nd
Esdras, chapter 1, verse 39. Unto whom I will give for leaders.
God says he's going to give these people, these men, these teachers for leaders, right? Read.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those are the three patriarchs. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So we're going to take them out of this first group. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. There's those three. Read.
Oseas.
So 1.
Amos.
2.
And Michias.
3.
Joel.
4.
Abadias.
5.
And Jonas.
6.
Nahum.
7.
And Habakkuk.
8.
Sophonias.
9.
Aggeus.
10.
Zachary.
11.
And Malachi.
12. Wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Go back. Go back to Sirach 49. It says what?
Sirach chapter 49, verse 10.
Read.
And of the 12 prophets, let the memorial be blessed.
Let their memorial be blessed of the 12 prophets. Read.
And let the bones flourish again out of their place.
And let their bones flourish again out of their place. Let them come back. What? Let their bones flourish again out of their place. Read.
For they comforted Jacob.
How did they comfort Jacob? With the words of God. These prophets wasn't playing. They comforted Jacob with the words of God. God spoke to them and they brought the word to Israel. For they comforted Jacob.
And delivered them by assured hope.
By assured hope, which is the word of the Most High. Let the memorial be blessed. Well, what is the memorial? Let's get it. Give me Revelations 21. Revelations, the 21st chapter. I know. They're like, Deacon, this ain't fix your face. This class right now. It's all right, man. Fix your face. We got to get through it. I don't want to leave nobody behind now. Revelations 21, start at 10.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 10.
Read.
And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God.
Y'all realize this is talking about the kingdom of heaven. This is future tense. And guess what? When we read Revelation 21, it's going to be banging, y'all. It's going to be dope. This is why we labor. This is why we fight, so we can partake in this glorious kingdom right here. I'm trying to get through them gates, y'all. What's up?
Right.
If you ain't motivated, if you ain't out here laboring to get in them gates, I don't know what you're doing. Let whatever is holding you back, whatever sin that doth so easily beset you, put it away, get rid of it, cut it off,
right,
so we can get here. Read.
Verse 11. Having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone.
Come on.
Clear as crystal.
Read.
And had a wall great and high.
Had a wall great and high. Come on.
And had 12 gates.
There was what?
And had 12 gates.
12 gates. Come on.
And at the gates, 12 angels.
Them angels are standing guard at each one of them gates. Read.
And names written thereon.
And names written on each gate. Read on.
Which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
We got Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Gad, Naphtali, Asher, Manasseh. All 12 tribes. We got it. Everybody got a gate. All praise be to the Most High. Because guess what? The kingdom's for you.
That's right.
Read.
On the east, 3 gates.
Read.
On the north, 3 gates.
Come on.
On the south, 3 gates.
Come on.
And on the west, 3 gates.
You realize all this stuff is completely like ungang related, right, Uriel? Right. Go ahead. Just making sure you understand, you know, because certain people interpret things a little different. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations.
Now this is the point, right?
And in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb.
Wait a minute. It says, and the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. Go back to Ecclesiastes 49 and 10.
The book of Sirach, chapter 49, verse 10.
Read.
And of the 12 prophets, let the memorial be blessed.
Behold, the memorial in Revelations, the 21st chapter and the 14th verse. Those 12 apostles that you saw when Christ came through, that was like, he said, hey, listen, come, I'll make you fishers of men. That spirit was like that because they weren't regular men. Those 12 apostles were the 12 prophets. What did it say? Nahum, Habakkuk, Aggeus, Malachi. I'm not looking at it directly. Yes, I am. I got it right here. Hosea, Amos, Micah, Joel, Obadiah, Jonah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Aggeus, or Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi. These are the 12 apostles of the Lamb.
Right.
Remember Christ said, these are they that follow me whithersoever I goeth. These men been about the work, and the Lord brought all their spirits back in that time to be there with Christ when Christ was to accomplish what he was to accomplish, okay? Right. So anyhow, I know some of y'all is mind bomb. All praises be to the Most High God. Let's do these commercials first. We're going to come back right after these commercials, y'all. We're going to get into it, all right? Dang, we're running kind of long, Uriel.
Part 2?
I don't know, man. I'm going to try to get it. Hey, we coming back right after these commercials, all right? Fix your face.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
Yeah, all praises, family. All right. You know what I should have did? I should have said, hey, this message is brought to you in part by the Most High God in IUIC TV.
That's right.
I got to do it right, man. You know, I got to get my whole newscaster thing going on, man.
Right.
You know, listen, we official now,
we stepping up, man.
This ain't we not regular folk no
That's
more,
right.
man. Look here, y'all see the studio? This is $1 million studio, man.
Man, $1 million. We on Warner Brothers in here. MGM.
Can we get $1 million AC?
I know, it's
Over
hot.
here burning up in here.
All right, check this out.
So only do.
I wanted to go through all that to show that which is done, it is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun, family. Nothing new is happening. Even the things, so we can't look at this and say, well, okay, the Israelites, it's regeneration. Y'all, it's everybody.
Right.
Even the other nations. I want to show y'all something. Now, Bishop been hitting us with some classes, bro. So y'all should understand at this point, this should now just be more clarification, more meat to give to you, okay? Bishop been showing the Rome and American connection for quite some time now. So y'all should already be up on that. Give me this next video. I want y'all to check this out.
Why do we pick Rome?
Rome is almost like a person. It has its own life story for us to look at.
Simultaneously, we aspire to be the best of what we know about Rome, and also we worry about being the worst of what we know about Rome. And that tension between aspiring to be the best and worrying about being the worst is kind of, to me, the key of why Rome is still current and why Rome is still important.
In the wake of the terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2001, there was a fear that the increasing power of the president in managing our military affairs abroad was not appropriate for a Republican government. And that, I think, is at the real center of the new interest in ancient Rome.
The Roman Empire declined and fell in 476 CE. What that really means is that at a certain point, the structure of the Roman state underwent a large collection and a series of transformations. The project of the expansion of the Roman state was about getting people involved in the idea that we're all part of this one big community of Roman citizens. Of course, we're talking at the upper level. We're talking at the level of sort of the ruling classes. What happens when the Roman Empire falls, if you like, is that those same ruling classes...
I want to pause it, just make sure everybody's up to speed on what's going on. Here it is, you got these so-called scholars, historians, who are examining the Roman Empire and are comparing it to America because they themselves see these similarities in both of these kingdoms, right? And they're worried. They're basically like, Rome fell. So what they do is they look at the signs and the things that happened when Rome fell, because at that time, everybody was like, hey, no way Rome gonna fall. Ain't no way this dragon getting brought down. Oh, they got dropped. They got put out. And what did Esau say? He said, oh, I'm gonna build again. But anyway, right here we have so-called scholars that are basically doing a contrast to see and try to protect themselves so that America don't experience the same things that Rome experienced. But this is the thing about that which is done is that which shall be done. Ain't no stopping it. Everything that they did wrong then, they're going to do it again. And you see it happening. But what they didn't expect is Christ our King, the real dragon slayer, to come back. But go ahead.
What happens when the Roman Empire falls, if you like, is that those same ruling classes say, you know, we like the Roman state. We like the idea of the Roman state. We like the idea of being Roman. But it doesn't need to be focused on Rome anymore. We can be Roman at home. Did it fall? Well, it changed.
Many people have debated the causes of the, quote, decline of Rome, and they've dated it at different points. The general idea is that Rome fell because of two things. Rome fell because the civic virtue of its citizens declined. Over time,
Hold on, y'all heard that? It says it fell because the civic virtue of its citizens declined. I want y'all to remember that, okay, for later on. Come on.
Over time, the Romans became gorged on their conquests of the ancient Mediterranean. The elite classes became excessively luxurious. They began to think first of themselves and not of ancient Rome. This weakened the moral fiber of Rome and made it susceptible to attack by outside forces, which the Romans called barbarians. And this eventually happened in the 5th century AD. A lot of Americans have wondered whether we are an empire just like Rome. And so they make comparisons between what is probably one of the most famous things about ancient Rome, which is the incredibly well-trained Roman army. And I think that,
pause. Listen, they're telling you, even in their own hearts, they know that that's them. These are the same people, y'all. The same people. Same nation, same old serpent called the devil, same dragon, right? But go ahead.
About ancient Rome, which is the incredibly well-trained Roman army. And I think that there is some cause for comparison. The American military is very powerful, but the addition of air power on top.
Give me that in Genesis, was it 27? What you mean to tell me that America thinks just like the Romans did? that through their extensive and incredibly powerful military resources, they can control the whole world. Get that real quick. I think it's Genesis 27, right?
Yeah, verse 39, 40.
Read that.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 39.
Come on.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live.
By thy what?
And by thy sword shalt thou live.
And by thy sword shalt thou live. He thinks he can get everything and obtain everything through murder, through killing, through his weaponry. Go back to the video. I'm sorry. Same people. Go ahead.
But the addition of air power on top of that and the presence of nuclear arms makes the comparison begin to fall apart a little bit. We really do have much more military power than Rome ever could have dreamed of in the wildest dreams of its emperors.
It's pretty easy to draw parallels.
Stop. What she's failing to realize is Rome was that superpower, and they were technologically advanced for their time. That's why they were able to do what they did, just like America is doing today. They listen. They spend all their money on the military. That whole industrial period, what were they doing? They were building bombs. They were building ships. They were building tanks, trucks, everything for war. Because they said, listen, all right, we might not be the smartest, but if we the strongest and we the toughest, we can do what we want to do. Right. And that's what they've been doing for so long. If we willing to take it to that limit to where we drop about Hiroshima, Nagasaki, everybody, the whole world cowered when they did that. They said, listen, if we swing this sword, everybody going to duck. And that's the same thing Rome did. Go ahead.
Dreamed of in the wildest dreams of its emperors.
It's pretty easy to draw parallels, isn't it? It's pretty easy to be able to say Rome was a militarily dominant state.
Yes, it
with
was.
a cultural hegemony that was in many, many ways driven by its economic strength.
It absolutely is.
Given these assumptions, given the fact that we are convinced that Rome fell, how much should we be worried? And how should we be worried? And in what ways? I think what we're doing now is we're saying...
Check this out, y'all.
Oh my...
Listen to me. And this is the irony of all this. Even with Esau seeing it coming, even with Esau knowing, damn, this is happening, there's nothing they can do about it. Right. Even though he's going to try. That's one thing about Esau. Esau, even though he knows he's doomed, he's still going to try. He's still going to do what he can to prolong the time. Give me that, Revelations. Revelations was at 12. He knows the time is at hand. So what's he trying to do? Anything he can to buy himself more time. What's that? Revelations 12. Where is it at?
Verse 12.
Read that.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 12.
There it is.
Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath.
Having great wrath. The devil's come down unto you. Why? He's scrambling. He's been scrambling ever since Christ came. Oh, snap. Come on, read on.
Because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
He knows he hath but a short time. That's why all these things is happening. Give me the next one. I want the article. While y'all get that, give me Revelations 13. Just to touch on this real quick. Like I said, there's many classes that's been taught on this. So if y'all don't understand this, you need to go watch the class on, what is that? Revelations 12. Bishop went through, and it was freaking amazing. And he went backwards. That's what messed me up. That thing messed my head up. Y'all listen, and it's on YouTube. So if you miss it out, again, it's your fault. But get that, Revelations 13, read verse 3.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 3.
Real quick, we it's already 9:38, bro. Come on.
And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. And his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast.
So we know that beast that had the 7 heads and the 10 horns, This right here in verse 3, this head that was wounded is talking about Rome, right? Jump down to verse 11, please.
Verse 11.
America comes into play here. Read.
And I beheld another beast.
Here comes another beast.
Coming up out of the earth.
Read.
And he had 2 horns like a lamb.
Come on.
And he spake as a dragon.
And he spake as a dragon. Come on.
And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him.
Read.
And causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast.
To worship who?
The first beast.
To worship the first beast.
Whose deadly wound was healed.
Rome. This is why when you look up, you're like, damn, why is everything in America patterned after Rome? What's up with this?
Right.
You worshiping, look here, what's the white boy's name? Caesar Bo. You're literally worshiping Rome. Right. Caesar Borgias, he literally got you worshiping him. This is crazy. But you don't see the parallel. You don't understand that these are the same people. Go back. Oh, I'm sorry. Give me that article. Yeah, this one. Is America the New Rome? Check this out, y'all.
Hey, zoom in a lot more. You got to zoom in.
He can see. He can see. Well, that's good.
For the people.
Is America the new Rome?
Come on.
The similarities are there. And it's not just decorative. The United States is rife with allusions to the Romans.
Come on.
You can see it in the term Senate.
Senate. Y'all realize America patterned itself on how it governs itself. When you understand, same thing with democracy going back to Greece, how they patterned themselves. They know they're the same people. They just try to hide it from you. They just try to make, you the only one that thinks they separate. This is still one nation. Even though they like to appear like they different, it's the same damn beast. Go ahead.
In the fasces that adorn the Lincoln Memorial, and even in the portraits of the founders themselves. It's not as surprising as the average Joe might think. Education at the time consisted of a lot of classics, read, Greek and Latin writings, and figures like John Adams, Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson, and James Madison not only had to study them, those were inspired by the ideas classical works contained.
Think about it. What was their history? The founding fathers of America. What was their history? What did they study? They studied ancient Rome. They studied their history, where they came from. Go ahead.
Even George Washington was a fan of the classics, defying a congressional ban to show Cato to his army at Valley Forge.
Read.
It's no surprise that the imagery and history of Rome influenced the creation of one of the most revolutionary countries of the time.
It's no surprise that the imagery and history of Rome influenced the creation of one of the most revolutionary countries of the time, America. Go ahead.
It's important to understand the influence of Rome on the foundation of the United States and how parallels in our history can help us avoid mistakes that could devastate our country and fellow citizens.
They scared, y'all. They scared. It's important for us to do some very, very in-depth studies so we don't fall like they fell. They know they're the same. Go ahead.
The American Cincinnatus. George Washington is perhaps one of the most Romanesque figures of the founding fathers, mostly due to his similarity with Cincinnatus.
Watch this. Click that real quick. That thing that's how you say Cincinnatus? Down, right there. Click that. See if it pulls it up. I was looking at this earlier. Real quick, read those 2 paragraphs right there.
You have often heard him compared to Cincinnatus. The French traveler Jacques-Pierre Brissot de Warville wrote after visiting George Washington at Mount Vernon in 1788. The comparison is doubtless. The celebrated general is nothing more at present than a good farmer.
So they compare George Washington with this guy back from ancient Rome, from Roman times, right? Saying what? That they're very similar in how they move, how they act. Go ahead. And again, I don't want nobody to get the misconception that I'm saying that George Washington was Cincinnatus. I'm not saying that. But damn it, that which is done is that which shall be done. Here it is. These the same world leaders, they move in the way that they move for a reason. Go ahead.
Constantly occupied in the care of his farm and the improvement of cultivation. Brissot's classically educated readers would have been familiar with the story of the Roman general Cincinnatus from the Roman historian Livy, or from contemporary works like Charles Rowland's Popular History of Rome, published in 1750. According to the story, powerful enemies of Rome, the Aquarians, were threatening an invasion of the city. The Roman Senate, finding the current consul unprepared to meet the crisis, voted unanimously to confer the extraordinary powers of dictatorship.
Wait, what did they decide to do? They voted unanimously to confer to extraordinary powers of dictatorship, read.
On their most distinguished former general, L. Quintus Cincinnatus.
They voted and gave him power to control. Why? Because they were in a bind. They needed the expertise. They said, you know what, we're going to vote him and let him call the shots because this is his area of expertise, right? Watch this. Read on.
Cincinnatus. At the time, Cincinnatus was living in retirement of his 4-acre farm outside of Rome, and representatives from the Senate found him working in the field. When he learned of the emergency facing Rome, he left his plow standing in the field, bid farewell to his wife, and led the Romans to victory against the Aquarians. 15 days after assuming the dictatorship, Cincinnatus resigned and returned to his plow.
After he went and did what he did, I guess he got him out of that pickle they was in, right? He resigned and returned to his farm, right? Now watch this. This is the parallel that they're drawing between these two. Read
the parallels of General George Washington were not lost on his contemporaries, called up from his retirement at Mount Vernon to lead the Continental Army.
You see how this is similar? This is like you read the same story of the same life. Read.
Washington dramatically resigned his commission and returned to his farm once the war had been won.
He went to World War, and he said, all right, I did what I did. Now I'm going back to my farm. Go ahead.
In emulating Cincinnatus, Washington allied real fears that he might use his position as a successful general to retain power as a military dictator. In the process, Washington illustrated that he placed public service above personal gain.
Go back to the first initial article now. All right, now start there.
George Washington is perhaps one of the most Romanesque figures of the founding fathers, mostly due to his similarity with Cincinnatus, a Roman legend. Lucius Quintus Cincinnatus was a two-time dictator of Rome, given supreme power by the Senate in times of emergency. But that isn't what made him famous. It was what came after. Cincinnatus' first tenure as dictator lasted only 15 days, long enough for him to defeat a hostile army and return order to Rome. His second tenure, almost 20 years later, lasted only 21 days. Cincinnatus never overstayed his time in office, resigning the day the need for his presence was over. The honor and integrity demonstrated by Cincinnatus to the Roman people made him, at the time, a living legend, and thereafter, an example of a good and victorious leader. George Washington almost immediately resigned after the conclusion of the American War of Independence.
I'm sorry, I said World War, didn't I? I meant the War of Independence, the one that y'all be crying over, the July 4th. Y'all just go ahead.
Going back to his farm at
Go ahead.
Going back to his farm at Mount Vernon, he also resigned after 2 terms of president, setting the 2-term tradition that bound every president until FDR. The political impact of Washington's decisions on the fledgling republic is not to be disregarded. Washington came to be revered as a victorious leader, much like Cincinnatus, and set the tone of political discourse for decades after his death.
Again, we're not saying that this is the same person, but what we see amongst the world, that which is done is that which shall be done. All right, go down, keep going down, start right up under your boy Lincoln. Everybody thinks he the man, right? Go ahead.
One of the more prominent symbols of Roman influence in America is the widespread use of the fasces.
Hold on now.
Here we go again. Extra syllables.
I believe it's fasces. Watch this. Go up. See if you can zoom in on that picture. What you'll see is under the 2. Yeah, there you go. You can get closer than that? It's hard to see. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's hard to see. But those 2 pillars that's under his hand, go up. See what's under his hands? I sent you, just do a Google search for fasces. I sent you a link if you want to click on it. Watch this, y'all. This, okay, so can you, well, don't worry about clicking on it. Y'all see how you see the axe, and then you got the wood. Is there a definition? Look, go back, type in definition. Definition, yeah, right after that. Right. A bundle of rods with a projecting axe blade carried by a lictor in ancient Rome as a symbol of magistrate's power. By thy sword shalt thou live. And used as an emblem of authority in Fascist Italy. Go back. I want you to just click back because I want to show you this picture. All right. Scroll down. Keep scrolling. All right, stop. The picture to the left where it says Wiki, click that. I want y'all to see this real quick. Go to the page. Just hit visit. Ain't this some stuff? Watch this. Zoom in. Look up. Zoom in on the left and right of your boy. What's his name? Biden. Can you zoom in? It won't let you zoom in, will it? Oh, don't get close on that picture. But y'all can see it from here. I can see it. What you're seeing is America riddled with ancient Roman imagery. They worship the beast that was wounded and was healed. They worship him. America was founded. Scroll down. Let's see if this gives you the definition.
So this is not
too.
a Christian state, country?
No, sir. By thy sword shalt thou live. Read that. Read that right there.
From the Latin word fascius, meaning bundle. Damn, where'd it go?
She juking you,
Meaning bundle. Italian is a bound bundle of wooden rods, sometimes including an axe, with its blade emerging. The fascius is an Italian symbol that had its origin in the Etruscan civilization and was passed on to ancient Rome, where it symbolized a magistrate's power and jurisdiction. The axe originally associated with the symbol,
the sword. Go ahead.
The labrius, the double-bitted axe, originally from Crete, is one of the oldest symbols of Greek civilization.
They're the same people. A lot of folks think that the Romans and the Greeks, all them is totally different nations right there. Same damn eagle. It's the oldest symbols of Greek civilization. Read.
To the Romans, it was known as bipenius.
By what? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Come on.
The image has.
Fix your face, bro. All right, drop this, man. Damn it, we ain't got enough time, bro. Dude, we ain't got enough time, bro.
Part 2.
Okay, drop this. Give me this next video. We'll see, man. We'll see. Did y'all get it where I wanted? Okay, I want y'all to listen to this lady again. The similarities that you see, they see, and they're trying their best to keep it from crumbling. So you have people that are pointing these things out because these spirits is back doing the same stuff they had been doing. We know at the end of Greek culture, what was it? What were they doing? It was homosexual. Ancient Rome, what happened around the end? What started happening? Homosexuality. Watch this, man. She's going to go into it.
So I'm very concerned about this. I think that a lot of it, I think that the collaboration of the bureaucratic machinery with it has to do with the assault on masculinity, okay? Okay, so you see, gender doesn't really exist. It's not really polarity. I mean, everything's all about expanding women's rights, but also terminating men, okay? And defining men out of existence. Masculinity is by definition toxic, okay? Masculinity doesn't exist. And you see, this is the proof of it. Now, I began all of my studies, my book Sexual Persona began as a dissertation at Yale graduate school on androgyny. I've always been fascinated, attracted to the subject of androgyny.
Stop. Y'all know what androgyny is? That's when folks start saying like they be what they want to be. Like the whole thing about not specifying themselves as a certain gender and what they call that gender fluidity and all that gay stuff. Anyways, and listen, bear with us. Because this lady, she talking 100 miles.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about. She on that crack. She on that crack.
Go ahead, bro.
On androgyny. I've always been fascinated, attracted to the subject of androgyny, and that's what sexual personality is. I explored it in history. But the more I explored it, I realized that that historically, the movement toward androgyny occurs in late phases of culture, okay, as a civilization is starting to unravel.
Starting to
okay?
what?
And that you can find.
Go back. She's saying she's looked through this history, Grecian, Roman history, and she's saying that when you start to see these things, this is when you see this culture, this place starting to unravel. Go ahead, play that.
Movement toward androgyny occurs in late phases of culture, okay, as a civilization is starting to unravel, okay, and you can find it again and again and again through history in the Greek art, okay, you can see it happening. All of a sudden, okay, there's a kind of the sculptures of handsome nude young men athletes that used to be very robust, okay, in the archaic period suddenly begin to seem like wet noodles, okay, toward the end.
Look. She said the athletes you see back then, even depicted in their imagery, they went from being robust, strong athletes to looking like wet noodles, punks. You see, they start telling. You see the hand get to doing this stuff. Exactly. You see the change in the culture. Go ahead.
In the archaic period, suddenly begin to seem like wet noodles, okay, toward the end, okay, and that the people who live in such periods, a late phase of culture, whether it's the Hellenistic era, whether it's the Roman Empire, whether it's the Mauve decade of Oscar Wilde in the 1890s, whether it's Weimar Germany, people who live at such times, okay, feel that they're very sophisticated, they're very cosmopolitan, okay, and homosexuality, heterosexuality, so what, anything goes, and so on.
Stop. Look, does this not sound familiar? Go back, bro. I think they missed it, bro. Go back just a little bit.
I missed all of it. I don't know what she talking about.
Man, they going in on the comments right now.
Deacon.
They going in on the comments right now. What is that, Twister rapping?
Go ahead,
roll
we ain't
rapping.
got much time.
Germany, people who live at such times, okay, feel that they're very sophisticated, they're very cosmopolitan, okay, and homosexuality, heterosexuality, so what, anything goes, and so on. All right, but from the perspective of historical distance,
what
okay,
she's
you can
saying
see.
is basically at that time, and this is coming from the ruling powers, right? And this is basically how they make it seem. It's like, oh, it's not a big deal, gender fluidity. This is stuff we hear now. Transgenderism, all that other stuff. It's no big deal. You could be homo, you could be hetero, you could be whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all right. This is the stance America has taken. Be what you want to be. It's okay. Go ahead. Is there more?
All right, but from the perspective of historical distance, okay, you can see that it's a culture that no longer believes in itself, okay, and then what you invariably get are people who are convinced of the power of heroic masculinity.
All right, so check this out. You said you will no longer get a culture that believes in itself. Here it is now. You see the decline. Well, guess what, brothers and sisters? We're watching the decline right now. Right at this very moment, it's the decline in history of the so-called white man. They've been declining ever since they decided to come against us. They've been declining ever since what happened with Christ. Give me that real quick, Revelations. I ain't got that wrote down either. Revelations 1, I want that. Every eye. This is another scripture that shows you regeneration is real. Revelations 1 and 7.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 7.
Watch this.
Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him.
What?
Every eye shall see him.
Every eye shall see him.
And they also which pierced him.
Even those that pierced him. Well, for them to see him when he returns, where they got to be? Back on earth. Question is, where you going to be? See, in those times, like I said, we read about how we were. Our people wanted to be assimilated and wanted to be like them and be cool with them. Give me that Maccabees. 2 Maccabees 4. You got them images? I sent you some pictures. Watch this, y'all. This was us. Goofy as hell. 2 Maccabees 4. Start at verse 7. We're going to jump down.
2 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 7. But after the death of Seleucus, when Antiochus called Epiphanes, took the kingdom, Jason, the brother of Onias, labored underhand to be high priest, promising unto the king by intercession 303 score talents of silver, and of another revenue 80 talents.
So this man wanted to buy his way into the priesthood, right? So he went to the other nations to buy himself in. Go ahead. This is our people too. Go ahead.
Beside this, he promised to assign 150 more, if he might have license to set him up a place of exercise.
What did he want?
A place of exercise.
He wanted to do the crap that Greece was doing. He wanted to do the crap that the Greeks was into. The Olympics. Let's play sports. Put some of these images up. Watch this. Read on.
And for the training up of youth in the fashions of the heathen.
Read on.
And to write them of Jerusalem by the name of Antiochus.
Stop. I'm going to let y'all know right now, God don't care if you could put the ball in the hole. How fast you can run up and down this field to impress the damn Grecians. The Lord don't care about that. But for some reason, this is what we wanted to do. We aspired to be that. I ain't going to say all we, though the wicked amongst us. They aspired to do that and didn't care about God's word. Didn't care about these laws. Read.
Which, when the king had granted, and he had gotten into his hand the rule, he forthwith brought his own nation to the Greekish fashion.
Go through a couple of the pictures. This is us, bro. Still to this day, Greekish fashions. Come on.
And the royal privileges granted of special favor to the Jews by the means of John, the father of Eupolemus.
Read.
Who went ambassador to Rome for enmity and aid, and he took away, and putting down the governments which were according to the law.
Putting down the governments which were according to the law.
He brought up new customs against the law.
Ain't this something? I'm telling you, this is our people, and this is why you be looking to these athletes, these actors, these entertainers as like they leaders or something. No, they not. Until they repent and keep God's commandments, they ain't leaders.
Right.
Read.
Verse 12. For he built gladly a place of exercise.
He did it gladly. Yes, this is what we want. Come on.
For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself.
Y'all see these, this is what you see here, these ancient depictions of the athletes back then. Us, Israel, running up and down the fields trying to impress the Grecians, the Greeks. Go ahead.
And brought the chief young men under his subjection, and made them wear a hat.
And did what?
And made them wear a hat.
And made them wear a hat. Come on.
Now such was the height of Greek fashions, and an increase of heathenish manners, through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch, and no high priest.
Look here. That which is done is that which shall be done. You have people that will literally put aside their history, don't care about what's right, and downplay their people, and even try to get their own people into it. To get them what? To live like the Grecians. No, we are not to be that way. All right, give me what's the next one? Is it an article? Yeah, the population control. Again, all this sounds so familiar. Population control. Go ahead, get that.
Population control was no joke in ancient Greece and the Roman Empire.
Go ahead.
The ancient city-states of Greece faced many problems shared with modern society. One of these was the limited availability of resources. The city-states all developed on agricultural economies. Agriculture requires land, and there were limited opportunities for expansion. Beyond war and conquest, successful conquest brought with it additional mouths to feed.
Okay, so go down a little bit. We pressed on time. Let's go down. I want to get a couple of these. Keep going. Read that. Go up to both Plato and Aristotle.
Both Plato and Aristotle argued the state's duty to ensure the success of society by controlling the growth of population.
Now wait a minute. Here it is. You have Plato and Aristotle, two influencers, right? Influencers amongst the Greeks, who said, you know what? There's a problem in population. You know what? We need to do something about this. And influence the state or the government to do something. Don't that sound familiar?
That sound like your boy Billy.
Billy. Everybody's still trying to Everybody's still trying to figure out what the hell does he got to do with vaccinations. Don't you do computers? Right. Microsoft, damn it, ain't you? What you talk about toilets in
Did
Africa?
You create
for?
Android?
Right. What would you say? Hey, escort Azariah up out of here, please. Go ahead, bro.
Up to 2,000 ancient city-states existed at different times in ancient Greece. Most of them long forgotten by all but the most devoted scholars of the ancient world. Several formed into leagues, which preceded the most well-known of the city-states today. Many of them warred with each other and with Macedon and Rome. Nearly all of them practiced some form of population control. Here are some of the ways the city-states of ancient Greece and the Roman Republic and Empire practiced population control to ensure their longevity and the welfare of their citizens.
All right, go down. First one.
1. Ancient Greece was not as democratic as most believe. It was widely believed, and rightly so, that Athens gave democratic government to posterity. It was the world's first known democrat form of government.
You see where democracy began, right? Go ahead.
But it was a limited democracy. The poor citizens of Athens were not allowed to participate, nor were slaves or former slaves. Slavery was rife in Athens, as it was in all of the Greek city-states, and slaves were owned by both individuals and by the state itself. Slaves were not allowed to marry without permission of their owner, nor were they allowed to have children unless they received permission. Controlling the behavior of the slaves was a form of population control practiced by the state.
So here we have them trying to control how many babies you can have, when you can procreate, all of this stuff. Damn, don't this sound... Go ahead, drop down. We're going to go through this kind of quick. Like I said, I know my time about up. Prostitute, no, keep going. Stop. Go up. No. Where you? Right there.
3, both citizens and non-citizens were permitted to own prostitutes. The lowest level on the social scale for prostitutes was men and women owned by porno boskas or pimps.
Damn, where that word, y'all see that porno boskas or another word for pimp, right?
Porno boskas.
Go ahead.
The pimps were male.
Boskos.
The pimps were male or female, citizen or non-citizen medics, who collected a percentage of the fees earned. In turn, they paid the state. The prostitutes, pornai, at this level were considered to be slaves and were accorded to the same protections the state provided to all slaves. In Athens, it was illegal for an owner to beat slaves or otherwise abuse them. Daughters of citizens renounced or abandoned by their fathers could be made slaves after being adopted by the state and forced into one of the state-sanctioned brothels, which flourished in varying areas of the cities.
All right, scroll down. So they were allowing this stuff for a means of birth control, because as you read on in other places, it'll tell you that basically those prostitutes, when they would get pregnant, you know what they was doing? They was aborting the baby. Go ahead.
4, the Greeks used abortion as a means of population control. Socrates reported that the midwives of Athens, he was the son of a midwife himself, resorted to several means to bring unwanted pregnancies to a premature end. The physicians of ancient Greece were aware of the surgical procedures for abortions, though they hesitated to perform them. Their concerns were over the risks of the mother, which...
You think Margaret Sanger could have been one of them pimps?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Planned Parenthood, that ain't nothing new.
All the way back in Egypt.
Go ahead.
Which were the same risks afforded by all forms of invasive surgery, shock, blood loss, and infections among them. Prostitutes were more likely to consult physicians for abortions than were married women or unmarried women who became pregnant. Abortions were legal throughout ancient Greece. Other methods of surgical abortions were reported by Socrates. Midwives provided drugs combined with various chants and charms which induced abortions.
They was taking stuff to induce abortions. Go ahead.
Potions derived from herbs and combinations of herbs were used for the same purpose. Among the herbs resorted to by the midwives were birthwort.
Okay, so I'm pressed for time. Listen. When you read on in this article, there's a whole lot of similarities that you see this going on still to this day. Planned Parenthood, population control, all of this stuff. Listen, they've been doing this stuff. This is nothing new, trying to control us and keep us from overpopulating them. So what? They can thrive.
Right.
Ain't nothing changed.
Right.
Ain't nothing changed. All right, drop that. Give me the history repeating itself video. That's the one that I sent you. Check this out real quick, y'all.
Who do not study history are then doomed to repeat it. Though this quote might sound a tad bit overdramatic in its emphasis of doom, there seems to be a considerable amount of truth in the exchange. All throughout human history, from the rise and fall of emperors and conquerors to the repeating trends seen in the changes of economies and nations, history seems to be playing on an unending loop that could very well help us to be able to learn from past mistakes and lead our world into one that benefits from the atrocities that preceded. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we will be going over 5 of these events in history that we find rears its head at us time and time again.
Point is, it's going to give you, similar to what we've seen with George Washington and Cincinnatus, it's going to do the same thing with Abraham Lincoln and Kennedy. Don't rewind it. Keep going. Again, I'm not saying that Abraham was Kennedy, but this thing crazy, bro. Watch this.
We find rears its head at us time and time again in the hopes of better understanding our past. John F. Kennedy and Abraham Lincoln. Seen by many as one of the strangest coincidences in history is the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln and how it compares to that of the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Although the Kennedy assassination has been surrounded by many strange conspiracy theories and overwhelming evidence of behind-the-scene planning, the most peculiar of these 2 incidents is their incredible number of coincidences that have led to a list of similarities that seem too alike to explain. Although the list totals more than 50 almost impossible to occur similarities, here are a few that have stood out to people the most. Shortly before their assassination, both presidents were strong advocates concerned with issues facing black Americans and made their views strongly known in 63. 1863 for Lincoln and 1963 for Kennedy. Both presidents had fathered 4 children and had a son die during presidency, and both were related to a United States Senator, Attorney General, Ambassador to Great Britain, and the Mayor of Boston.
Same bloodline?
Though it appears that the majority of their natural life played in complete tandem without anyone becoming all the wiser to this strange connection, it appears that even their death would play a huge part in these strange coincidences coming to light. When both presidents were assassinated, Lincoln in the Ford Theater and Kennedy in a Lincoln car manufactured by Ford, it appeared as if these strange and anomalous coincidences came crashing together for both United States presidents.
This is what I wanted, y'all. Check this out.
The growth of pandemics across the world. Researchers are well aware of the seasonal behaviours of illnesses and their ability to mutate every year that prevents them from ever being completely eradicated amongst the general public. It appears that the most dangerous diseases are not those that make headlines around the world due to their violent nature, but rather common cases of influenza that can cause the death of young and old people all across the world, even in well-developed civilized countries. Regardless of these statistics and efforts to prevent the disease with vaccines every single year, it appears that pandemics can go unnoticed by the general population even when they affect hundreds of thousands of people with crippling illnesses that leave those afflicted suffering throughout their entire life. Polio used to be such an instance that took the lives of more than 400,000 children every year. But given its recent eradication, many see the new outlook of a life with modern medicine as a positive change. Unfortunately, in a strange twist of events, when polio testing was originally done throughout the early 1900s, the race for a vaccine led to the creation of the AIDS disease that has spread rapidly across the world, affecting more than 37 million individuals.
Hold up, back it up, bruh. Hold up. Wait a minute. It said in a race to create a vaccine for, what was it, polio? It says they accidentally created AIDS. Go back, bruh. Remember how we always was told, yeah, man, yeah, that thing happened. It was experimenting on monkeys, yada, yada, yada. We never asked, why the hell was they experimenting on monkeys? What the hell are you over here doing? Why are you over here messing with stuff? Just like Corona. That thing had nothing to do with people until they made it transmittable to people. What are you doing? Right. Same damn demons. Go back, play that again. Some of y'all didn't know that. Go back a little bit further. Play.
More than 400,000 children every year. But given its recent eradication, many see the new outlook of a life with modern medicine as a positive change. Unfortunately, in a strange twist of events, when polio testing was originally done throughout the early 1900s, the race for a vaccine led to the creation of the AIDS disease that has spread rapidly across the world, affecting more than 37 million individuals. It appears that as one chapter is finally over, a new one quick.
And who did it affect greatly? Us. HIV/AIDS. Remember they was some, man, them white folks. We just said the same thing about Corona. Man, you see, man, them other nations catching that. Next thing you know, that thing turned. They hit a whole U-turn. Bam! Came at us. I'm telling you, there's nothing new under the sun. Real quick, give me, this is the last scripture. Give me 1 Maccabees 1. 1 Maccabees 1. These are just some examples, y'all. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, hey, roll back over. Roll on over. 1:41. Watch this.
1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41.
Tell me if this sounds familiar, brothers. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Go ahead.
Moreover, King Antiochus wrote unto his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
So Antiochus has this great idea that, you know what, the whole world needs to come together. Leave your laws. Come under one law, right? He says that all should be one people and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Read.
Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
And them niggas and Hispanics and Native Americans, some of them did the same thing. Back then they was Grecians, damn it. Go ahead.
And sacrificed unto idols.
And what?
And sacrificed unto idols. And profaned the Sabbath.
Read.
For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
Here is the king now writing legislation to the different nations of the world so that everybody should do what? Come under one. Give me the next video. Tell me if this, I don't know, maybe it's just me outside. I don't know. I might be looking too deep. Deacon here, clickbait. Go ahead.
Out of these troubled times, our fifth objective, a new world order can emerge, a new era, freer from the threat of terror, stronger in the pursuit of justice, and more secure in the quest for peace. An era in which the nations of the world, east and west, north and south, can prosper and live in harmony. 100 generations have searched for this elusive path to peace, while 1,000 wars raged across the span of human endeavor. And today that new world is struggling to be born. A world quite different from the one we've known. A world where the rule of law supplants the rule of the jungle. A world in which nations recognize the shared responsibility for freedom and justice.
You hear what he said? He said, not the rule of the jungle. You know what he's trying to say? He's trying to say your laws are futile. Your laws are insignificant. Your governing laws are nothing compared to his. Is that you, Antiochus? Is that you? Oh, no, he sounded real Antiochi. Go ahead, bro.
Shared responsibility for freedom and justice. A world where the strong respect the rights of the weak.
Yeah, right.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
A new world order.
A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful,
He said, not your Bible.
and we will be.
Look here, you said, these are not the rule of the jungle. He said, everybody leave your laws and follow our laws. Just like Antiochus decreed, and he wrote letters. Here's the legislation. This is what we're going to follow. And you have many of the Israelites that followed that and put away their laws, holding the fashions of the Greeks to be what? To be better. Play on.
We have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can
go back,
use it.
because he said he was real creepy. He said he said something like, we're going to be successful, and we will be successful, or some shit. Go ahead.
Conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be,
the damn devil.
We have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders. What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order, where diverse nations...
Same room. You see the eagle? Look here. Greece used the same emblem. Esau, that is him. The eagle, that is him. In all his pompousness. He don't care. He's bold with it. He puts this stuff out there. You see it. Boy, he like, man, nothing you can do about it. He's trying to get to this new world order.
It's Japheth.
But guess what? You say what?
It's Japheth.
Get the hell out of here. Listen to me. Our eyes is open. You are not going to fool us. You are not going to just make it, it's just, don't worry about that. You know what? We read the Bible. We see everything you do. We see you. Esau, we see you. Some brothers don't see it about this Japheth. Some of them can't see, whatever. Y'all waiting on another captivity. Right now, you waiting to be somebody else's slave. It's cool, whatever. We see you. And guess what? Our Father sees you. Hey, listen, that's all the time I got. All praise be to the Most High God and His Son. Hey, listen. Deacon Asap's up next, y'all. Y'all already know it's TGIF. I pray y'all got something out of tonight's class. Hey, chew the meat, y'all. If you wasn't ready tonight, hey, it is what it is. Come back later, all right? Sorry, Grace
Scripts popping, ain't no stopping when I'm on post, so don't go there. Gotta get it if you wanna know that. Fringe stuff, and I'ma show that. Mad at me, cause it's Bible verse.